All right, hello Tide fans. Welcome back to Tide Talk. We took a little break there for a week, had an off week, but we're back. We're going to discuss a little bit of the Tennessee game. Got my buddies Jimmy and Mo here. We figured we'd do it a little bit differently. I know y'all got tired of us sitting all the time, so we figured we'd stand and give y'all a different perspective. I like the table though.
I've been standing the whole time.
You've been standing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because I'm not on my good side, but I guess I'll make do with it.
yeah,
If you do a 180,
it'll be good.
there you go.
So yeah, we took a little break there with the off week, but we want to recap the Tennessee game, kind of what we anticipated. I will, go ahead and pat myself on the back and say I think I was the closest to the score as normal. That's okay.
nice.
That's why it's my show.
That's
You
why
guys are
it's
guests
less
on the
than
show.
I don't even remember. It's been so long ago. I don't even remember what I said.
Yeah, it wasn't. What,
You had Tennessee winning.
I did predict the win, didn't I? I couldn't
you
remember.
did predict the win, and it would be pretty good. But I think I was 7 points off, and I know what you're going to say. I mean, I almost won the lottery, but
I just missed the lottery by
Right.
7 numbers.
That's right.
So
But yeah, kind of what we anticipated, guys. I think there's been a lot of conversation about the breakdowns. I know we'll talk about that a little bit. I wasn't as upset about those because those are things that are correctable. It'd be different if we just didn't have the talent to play, out there on the edge with a guy that was a wide receiver or whatever. But it was breakdowns. It was mental lapses in what we were supposed to do. And we've talked about that, it seems like, all year. We do that too often, and it'll affect us against the really good teams.
Every game we talk about the breakdowns. I get it. We got the talent, but at some point, when are we going to stop breaking down? I thought it was more the same what we've already seen. I mean, it's like something like we say the same things about it, every recap, because we have the breakdowns. We start slow. The game's closer than it should be. But then all of a sudden we see those glimpses of how good we could really be, and you look up and we cover the spread, and it's like, oh my gosh, we beat them by 4 or 5 touchdowns, and it looks great.
Yeah.
But on the surface, was it really all that great?
Maurice,
well, I think Jimmy's right.
hang on. You got this right here.
Yeah.
Can somebody please tell this guy we don't.
Okay. I think Jimmy's right because
You know what? Go with it. Let's go with it.
Okay, I really don't know where that's been, and it's really quite disturbing. Coach Saban talked about it after the game. Why do we feel like we have to be slapped in the mouth before we're ready to play? You can almost sense it being there. It seems like that there is a different sense of urgency because, like everybody else, we had that nauseating feeling when I think it was 21-17. Oh my God, this could get out of hand as far as if we don't start showing up every series. Fortunately, we did. There were some mistakes that Tennessee made that we were able to capitalize on. And I thought in some of those series, especially offensively, I think we looked really good. I think Roydell Williams probably had his best game. And the one thing that I did like that haven't seen since he's been there, I think I saw a little bit of Trey Sanders coming back to full speed because you saw a little burst here and there.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing about him. So because we're definitely going to need that trio, that third back down the stretch, I think.
Absolutely.
No doubt. Again, I want to point out, guys, don't you feel a little bit more confident that it's mental mistakes that we can correct? And yes, we say it just about every week that, hey, man, we got to correct these mental mistakes. Hey, we got to correct these breakdowns or busted coverages and that sort of thing. I'm okay with discussing that as opposed to we're just not good enough to stop them.
Well, I mean, you got the number 1 recruiting class every year. You should be able to stop anybody, no matter who it is. My problem is somewhat to what Jimmy said as far as, yes, we continue to talk about miscommunication, but in some of the clips that we'll go over in our second period, there's a couple of things that were schematic.
Agreed.
I'm not going to say they're unforgivable, but it's things that really should not happen as a coach lining up whenever you're seeing. There's just blocking, and second is just alignment.
So my question too is though, Ole Miss and Mississippi State are arguably the 2 best offenses we've faced this year. Would you agree?
Yes.
So
And
far, yes.
we've basically shut them both down without any mistakes. So why do we play these lesser teams, so to speak, and have these breakdowns? I mean, what is going on getting ready for that game? The lead up, the preparation.
Even Saban said we've played some up-tempo teams, but Tennessee does a few things that are a little different.
Yeah.
That causes us to prepare a little differently. we weren't able to substitute as often. They didn't just do up tempo. They they call fastball. I mean,
Right.
they were as soon as the play was over, they were up there ready to run again. And should we be caught off guard at this point because it's been going on for years? Probably not. But there's so many things that are being communicated by so many different people, and I know we'll talk about it. At least I would hope we will. But the last touchdown that they scored on the 70-yard pass,
Right.
I mean, Job turns to the sideline, and the play snapped, and the guy just runs past him.
And that's one of the plays that got highlighted, but I can't put that on Golding or Kelly or whoever is coaching that position. That right there is on Joe. It's just like they say in boxing, protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
When the referee puts the ball in play, you need to be looking at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. The only time you don't ever turn your back to them. I mean, that you just don't ever do that.
That's right. And I don't disagree with you. Again, I'm just saying that when Job has the call and he's playing press coverage,
Right.
he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Pretty good player. Just like I believe when we get the call in correctly, we do a fairly good job.
But tell me a wide receiver that runs a 4.4 or 4.3 speed isn't licking his chops when he looks there
Yeah.
and he sees his back snap
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes, I'm about to
Yeah, I
to
don't
burn this
disagree.
dude.
And I believe that those are things that we've talked about that Saban's saying. And listen, he made it very well known. You take those 3 busted coverages away, this is a blowout. It's
But
not.
you take those same 3 plays against Georgia, Ohio State,
That's exactly-
Michigan State.
That's right. It's exactly what I said to preface this. Against better teams, it's going to burn us.
I think that's the first time you used the word preface on this show, and I like it. That's a good one.
I learned that today
Well,
from my
we were
6th and
talking.
7th grade
We were
students.
talking after the game, or last week, and I made the comment about take away the busted plays this year on our defense. And I know it's part of it. You can't. I get it. But you take away those busted plays. I mean, how many teams have actually taken the ball and just driven it right down our throat?
Okay, take
know,
away
not
the
many.
take away the errors in the World Series.
That's my point, though. My point is, the team has not just lined up and just driven the ball straight down the field on us and scored a touchdown. It seemed like every touchdown, or 90% of them, has been some busted play. So take those out of the equation. The defense on the surface don't look that bad.
And yes, it's part of it. But listen, we get the same thing. I don't know of a defense. I can't imagine. Maybe there's some defenses that's not Alabama's, but there's a lot of times we got some guys that are wide open. I mean,
Sure.
can't be playing that way. So we get the same thing. My point, all I'm saying is I can sleep a little bit better knowing that we're talented enough to match up with anyone, and I'm saying anyone.
Yes.
And if we play not necessarily mistake-free, because but if we play a better football game as it relates to those broken coverages and the penalties and those, I'll take my chances. I like our chances with matching up against anyone.
Absolutely. But that's the key, to play.
To be able to do
Right.
that.
Can we do
and
that?
that's what Saban's talking about. Saban's saying, hey, we've got to be able to play 60 minutes of, not making those mistakes and not busting coverages and not miscommunicating out there, whether it's from the sideline or the guys that are on the field communicating.
But the key is you face a quarterback or a linebacker or a safety that recognizes, hey, this is a mistake that they're in.
Yeah.
And capitalizes on it. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be a Power 5. You can have
That's right.
You can have anybody else. I mean, Cincinnati, they're not too bad at it either. But you can't afford at this level and this time of the season
That's
to
right.
keep
I agree
doing
with
that.
I agree
Because
with that.
as Saban said after A&M, backs against the wall, there's no room for error now.
Yes, I agree. So we're going to look at some of the plays. We're going to look at some of the highlights in just a second. We'll take a break in a minute and we'll break some of that down. But I do want to get into the play revision, talk about a few of those things that we're saying, let the viewers see kind of the things that we're talking about. But I also want to talk about the upcoming game with LSU. Now, granted, I'm going to tell y'all are probably saying the same thing that we said before the Texas A&M game. Man, they lost 2 games, and I think it's going to be a good football game. I think they have a lot to play for. Orgeron being, going to be leaving and all that sort of, I think it's pride and that sort of thing. So it'll be interesting.
Did you have a knot on your head?
It'll be
Did somebody
interesting.
hit you in
So
the
hey,
head?
let's take a quick break.
Can I
On
get
behalf of
can
Bond
I get a
English and State
specimen
Farm,
cup?
Tide fans, hold your seats. We'll be right back with Tide Talk.
Enjoy the good times a little more with the right plan. As your State Farm agent, I am here to help you protect your dreams and loved ones with life insurance. With over 60 years combined State Farm experience, call me or any of my team to find out which options are best for you. Another way, we're here to help life go right.
All right, welcome back, Tide fans. We're going to go into a little bit of play review. Maurice, play
Yeah.
review. Not play as in Shakespeare, but
I love reading the Thornbirds over and over again.
right, good.
Anyway,
So, Maurice, a couple of things that we've talked about. We've talked about breakdown in coverages and just miscommunication on our part. Let's show the
Right.
viewers a little bit of what we're
all right,
talking
yeah.
about.
Let's go to Tennessee's first touchdown here with about 6:21 to go in the first quarter. The problem I have with this, and I think McElroy mentioned it during the game, look at in the middle of the field. You're playing that is about the easiest touchdown you're ever going to get because you got nothing in the middle covering. You got a corner out here the receiver knows he's going to have to go inside. Just look,
Pause that for just a second,
Chris.
Here's the issue that I have. Yes.
The umpire is the only thing stopping you.
And
Yes.
is Malachi in coverage there? I mean, is that because
Well, he's faking coverage. He's faking blitz, and he's supposed to drop. But again, so
Alignment.
whose fault is this? Is it the coach's fault for not having him in position? Is it the safety's fault for not knowing better to be in the center of the field a little bit? Or is it Malachi Moore's fault?
Well, first, I don't think it's the coach's fault, and I'm not going to, go all out on him. But it is his fault as far as they should know better. The thing is, he is lined up too close to the line of scrimmage because every coverage has to be disguised unless you're going to let it know that you're impressed man to man, and they obviously are not. So he is lined up way too close to the line of scrimmage for a disguise. Not to mention, you only have 19 yards of field to work with because you get
Right.
to use the entire end zone. But he will not have enough time. See, there's 2 yards difference between him and the line of scrimmage and where that receiver is, top receiver. There's another receiver
Right.
out on top as well. So he will have absolutely no time to recover. So if you roll it,
Chris,
Chris,
go ahead and roll, because I want to show you what they look like
so
with
he's
each
still?
other.
And look, do you see him? He's still looking in
He's
the
still
backfield.
looking at, and so look at them. So Battle's doing this, which to me Battle's out of position. But looks like to me Battle's saying to Malachi Moore, "What are you doing?"
you should have had.
Did you see
should drop-
Malachi's response? I mean, reaction. He's like, "Gosh, dang
Yeah.
it!" Like,
No, okay,
crap.
now if you run it again, Chris. If you watch him, the number 13.
Still looking,
he
still looking,
He's
and now
dropping
he's
the
lost.
flats. He's already lost because he's dropping into the flats where it appears he should be dropping back to the deep third.
So here's my thought: if you look at their offensive setup, we're playing cover 3 up top
Right.
because Battle's in the middle of both receivers.
Yes.
Battle's in the middle of both receivers. So we're playing cover 3 up top and press coverage on the bottom, 0 on the bottom.
That is correct.
But Battle doesn't. He doesn't move.
Well, it just goes to show you one person out of 10 that messes up can cost you a game or a
And it
touchdown.
looked like to me we had 2. So from a setup perspective, maybe Battle was right. They've got 2 wideouts. He's in the center of them.
Right.
What I'm afraid of is Malachi. Look, still looking, and then when he looks back, he's lost.
You can't.
He's already beat.
I want to know what his thoughts were right at snap.
Yeah, me too.
And because he's drifting off to the flats like he has that type of coverage. Normally a strong safety, his I guess most popular coverage is the flats. But in this, with nobody deep, he's definitely got to have deep third.
Yeah.
And it's just
So horrible job by us, both from a
it's where disguise come back.
schematic and a coverage perspective.
The coverage came back to bite you.
Go on to the next one, Chris, that we gave you. The next play.
This again is just poor coverage. I don't know what we were looking at here. Run it again, please.
Daniel Wright playing man up top.
It looked like Daniel thought there was going to be
So-
some help somewhere.
Exactly. So if you look right there in the middle,
There's 4 people.
yes, 2 people don't have to be in the same spot to cover.
Well, if you
one
noticed,
person.
and we saw it a couple of times in this game, Will Anderson's dropping into the flats. He did it a couple of times in this game against Tennessee. He's dropping over into the flats.
Right.
Yeah, he
He's
was
doing
one-
it
he was-
again.
he
He was one of the
4.
ones that's bunched up.
He was one
That's
of the
him
4.
off the edge right there at
Pause.
the top.
Yeah.
That's him off the edge, and he's going to drop into the flats. But we got press coverage here, at least so we're showing press coverage with a safety up top.
But I think, again, go ahead and run it. I think what we have is, again, a bad angle that our safety should be making. There it
Daniel
is.
Wright, horrible technique. Did you see him turn his hips to the sideline?
Right. Now, again,
But there's battles. Battle late getting where he was supposed to be. I mean,
That was
because
on
look,
the other hash.
he's
Yeah, I
there
don't
to try
think
to
so.
come-
He was
saw
on the other
play happening,
hash. He was having to come over and help.
you're giving them because there's nobody back there on that post route slant. So I understand that there could be a completion, but there should be a tackle.
Minimum, at a minimum.
But why is Anderson back in coverage?
Well,
He's
because
an outside
he's an
linebacker.
outside
I know,
linebacker,
but
so it looked like we were rushing 3, dropping 8. That's
I
what
know-
it looked like to me.
No, I understand what Jimmy's saying. You got the most prolific pass rusher
Right,
next to
in the
Thibodeau
game.
at Oregon, and you're dropping him back. But then again, a lot of times those outside linebackers that drop make the nice plays, get the interceptions. But in this, you can tell there's confusion right there in
mean,
the
we
middle.
got-
Exactly.
we have
It's-
4
this
guys.
4
is
people on one.
okay. So this is. All right. Do you want to say it's schematic, or do you want to say it's communication, or do you want to say it's a player?
Without me being in the film room, without me, it's hard to say. If I was to just make a guess right now,
Yeah.
it's players not knowing where they're supposed to go. Because it looked like to me we were rushing 3, dropping 8.
Right.
But 4
And-
guys in one spot I know is not accurate.
Well, if you're rushing 3 and dropping 8,
And
they
that guy gets that open?
and
Yes.
he gets that open,
There's a problem.
and there's no rub. I mean, I know they're in a bunch formation, but he just runs basically a skinny post, and
Really easy.
yeah, I mean,
Really easy.
It's almost like pitching. Look, see there, he comes off the line clean. There's no crossing route. He just runs.
I just didn't like Daniel Wright's technique. I mean, he wasn't backpedaling. He had already turned his hips to the sideline. Well, hey, that's an easy for a 4.40 guy.
How many times have we talked about technique?
Not a lot. I just didn't like his technique. But again, you know,
I'm not going to talk
he's playing at
about.
the University of Alabama, so we know he's talented enough. But are they practicing that enough? Are they working on technique enough
My point all season.
every single day? We
And
used to do it every single day.
somebody on this crew last.
So let's go to the next play because we were kind of short on time with respect to play review. Let's go to the next play.
Block punt right here. This is straight up special teams breakdown.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of, it's like everybody now wants to go to Australia to get a kicker. I don't mind going to, if I'm going to do the recruiting, I'd like to go to Australia. I've never been. But I don't see what's so great about the kickers. Okay, so he does his Aussie to the right, and
Which is where the pressure was coming.
And a horrible job just protecting that. Horrible job.
the protection, I don't understand why it's not heavy to the right because he's going to step
To the right.
Yeah. And Latu looked like to me, he just was letting the guy in and pushing. Looked like he thought that the punter was going to be behind him, which is the guy who ended up blocking the punt. But
Well, I mean, if you're going to put on a punt block, it's kind of obvious with an Aussie kicker that's going to take a step. All right, let's load up that way.
right, I don't disagree.
And you're lined up in a traditional. You got 2 on the left. You got 3 with an up back, and I really don't know what the heck that their assignment or what they're thinking. He blocks down, 18 blocks down. Latu comes out and
Doesn't block anyone.
no. But he's also late getting there, like he doesn't realize that they're coming. This, again, should be you should see this at pre-snap to see where they're loading and where the pressure's coming from. It's just a bad read,
Or maybe he saw it coming, he just didn't get over there fast enough. 'Cause the guy
Do we have one more play to review?
Yes, it's the
Chris, let's go to one more.
last touchdown. There, we
Joe.
talked about it. Okay.
Chris, run that back. Let's just so that we can. Job's.
Everybody else is facing.
Yeah.
And you got a 4-4 guy that's just
It's over at the snap.
Yeah, as soon as he takes off, it's over.
The only thing he was worried about is please don't let me, cramp because Lord knows I had enough cramps that night.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, back in my day, I could have probably ran that route and scored that touchdown.
Yeah.
Barring the throw on, but
I'm going to take your word for it.
But again, guys, these are things that are fixable. These are things that I know we're saying that over and over again.
Don't turn your back to the defense.
Correct.
Offense.
I mean, and I don't know. I don't know why you would fall asleep. I don't know why you would not be paying attention. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. Especially you're already out there on an island. That job's tough enough as it is. For you not to be locked in.
Right.
I just don't
Anytime
get it.
that you're the last guy out, whether it be
That's right.
no matter which side, you better be on pins and needles.
That's right.
Because you're the target.
I will say this: Joe has done a.
He's done a good job, and that's what I
mean.
said.
He's done a good job this year. So, but that is a lapse that you can't have.
That's what I said. When he's locked in, he's pretty good.
Oh, I get that, but you shouldn't.
That shouldn't happen.
That's right. I'm
Yeah,
with you on that.
shouldn't happen.
Okay.
1,000%.
Getting off my soapbox now.
All right, let's take a quick break. On behalf of Bob English and State Farm, hold your seats, Tide fans. We'll be right back with Tide Talk.
Hey, Bob.
What's up, Bob?
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries, and home and auto insurance from State Farm. So make it a combo. Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Just call me, Bob English, or any of my experienced hometown team and find out how you could start saving today. It's just another way.
All right, Tide fans, welcome back. So, again, man, fixable things we talk about every week. I certainly
If we
think.
talk about every week, it's not being fixed.
Good point. That was going to be my next statement. Why is it not getting fixed? But that'll be maybe another discussion for another day. At this point, Tide fans, we're going to go to stats with Jimmy.
All right, Tide fans. Oh, thank you, Mo.
I was going to hold it.
So now, granted, these were I put these together last week and we didn't play. So nationally they may be a little bit off, but we're going to run with it anyway. So we'll take a quick glance at the offense. Currently, we are still number one in conference with our total offense, scoring offense at 45.9 points a game. We're actually second in the country. Can somebody tell me who we're behind?
And what? Offense?
And scoring offense.
I'm going to go Ohio State.
Correct answer.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Of course, total offense. Of course, talking about the Buckeyes, they are number one in total offense in the country. We're 10th. Again, very respectable. Passing offense, we're 11th in the country at 323. Guess who's number one in the country at passing offense?
Ole Miss. Mississippi State.
Western Kentucky.
The Catamounts.
How about that?
Yes.
Rushing defense. Now, again, we pretty much shut Tennessee down from rushing the ball.
67 yards, I think.
So rushing defense, nationally, we're sixth. Number one,
Georgia.
number one is actually Wisconsin at
Or
rushing
Wisconsin.
rushing defense. Passing defense, we're 55th in the country at allowing 219 yards a game, which still ain't terrible, I don't guess. As far as number one in passing defense, the Washington Huskies. Go figure.
Oh, right.
And then we'll move on along real quick, Tide fans. Of course, total defense real quick. Georgia is the number one total defense. We're 15th in the country at 308. Scoring defense, 34th, giving up 20 points a game. Georgia is number one at 6.
I would hope.
So
That's it.
interceptions, just a couple little side notes here. Interceptions were 5th in the country with 11. Iowa's number one.
Yeah.
With 16.
They were the
falling.
number 2 team in the country.
Fumbles
Yeah, they're
recovered.
falling.
This is one that I looked at, I remember, that's kind of blows my mind. At fumbles recovered. We used to be really good, obviously, at causing turnovers and scoring with those turnovers. We have recovered, take a guess how many fumbles we recovered this year.
2.
4.
He saw my notes. 2.
I swear I didn't.
We're 94th in the country.
He called you a liar.
And that's just, to me, that's, again, what is that reflection of? I don't know.
Well, we're not causing a lot of fumbles, obviously,
Obviously. So,
because we can't tackle very well in space. But that's
right.
another
So,
conversation.
You know, a couple of things. Third down offense. I mean, we were really good against Tennessee.
Yeah.
We're number one in the country at converting third downs, at 58, almost 59%. Third down defense, again, getting off the field, which we always talk about that. We're 26 in the country at 33.9%. So, just a couple of things out there, Tide fans. Again, that was from last week, so we'll obviously update that for y'all coming up next week.
From an offensive perspective, we're starting to see a little bit more consistent play out of Brian Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Becoming the guy that we kind of thought that he would be anyways, waited his time. He's physically fit for it. We're starting to see him carry the load a little bit more. I am glad to see Trey Sanders seems a little bit
Matter of fact, keep talking about that.
more
Taylor.
healthy.
Yeah.
You know, seems like he's ready to take some snaps.
Well, I think you're also, I know with me, you have more confidence in Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
Not only through power, but I don't know if you saw, his touchdown, one of his touchdowns in the game. He made a nice cut, and it comes with power. That's a business decision.
Yeah.
I think your brother saw him the other day and said he is.
So real quick
Huge.
on Brian, jumping back to the stats. So he is third nationally in scoring. He scores 11 points a game,
Ladies' man.
and he's number 21 in yards per game at a little over 100 yards a game. And he's eclipsed that 100-yard mark 3 games in a row now.
Yeah, starting to see a better balance from him, but I think it's related to the offensive line.
Yeah.
Starting to see a little bit better play there. Still have some struggles, but that comes with this group being together more and more and more. I liked the push that we were able to see. Listen, we got down inside, the red zone several times, and we ran the football. I think we had some really good play calls. I've questioned that to this point, but I think we had some really good play calls. We put in 3 tight ends, and we say, hey, try to stop us.
Right.
All that's going to do, in my opinion, is open the passing game for in those situations. I don't mean the passing game collectively throughout the on the field. I mean down in the red zone. And I'm also going to say I really like the fact that Young is starting to run the football.
I was
a
just
little
about
bit.
to say he showed that the other night. And
Man, how quick is his feet? Oh my goodness.
quick.
I mean, listen. We've been saying it all year. The guy was a dual threat quarterback. He just didn't have to run. Right. He tries to make plays. He tries to extend plays, but he tries to make the plays with his arm down the field. Mm-hmm. I think it's very smart. He runs when he has to.
I love a good scrambling quarterback. But I say scrambling, I mean
Yes.
behind the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
Long
He
start.
does a good job. He does a good job getting free and being able to throw the football on the move. He does a pretty good
But
job.
what
with
people
that.
don't, everybody gets all wowed by the dual threat quarterback definition. The thing that Bryce does now is now your linebackers and safeties have to have some respect because
play a little more honest.
Yes, you can't just now drop back 10 to 12 yards and only worry about pass now.
Correct.
So it gives us extra yards, and he's got some speed, and I like the quick feet, as you mentioned the other night with a couple of jukes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you watched a couple of his runs, he's not afraid. I mean, listen, he's attacking.
still don't want to get. I still
That's
don't want
right,
to hit.
and I think that he's aware of that. I think that we are too. But he attacks some players and makes a move and makes
How
them
about
miss.
the fake slide to get another 12, 15 yards out of the play or
Yeah.
whatever it was? So I thought it was
I mean,
pretty
so
neat.
I think he does a really good job, moving in the pocket, trying to still throw the football downfield, and when that's not an option, he runs it.
Right.
So let's talk about LSU.
What's there to talk about?
I
They're
mentioned it
trash.
earlier. Listen, I just still believe it's going to be. I'm not saying we're not going to win. I believe we're going to win the football game. I believe we're way more talented. I believe we're way better coached.
I saw LSU right outside. There was a dumpster, and I threw a match in it. It was a dumpster fire. That's what LSU is. When you're hearing stories of head coaches' girlfriends' kids out there running drills with your players, this is a fiasco. And LSU can do whatever the heck they want. Their AD can do whatever they want. I would have gone ahead and written the check and said, thanks, we'll see you later. Because this is turning into a laughingstock of an SEC team, a proud SEC team. They could show up and do all that, but I think there's so much turmoil there that It's
Yeah,
becoming.
I think
a
there's too
lot
way
for
too many distractions.
So you believe there's no shot
Uh,
that they can come in and make it a
I
respectable
don't think
game?
at this point, they have the discipline to go through 4
Man,
quarters.
I would be shocked if it's not one of those 21-0 games at the end of the first quarter.
Right,
I mean, honestly, because I mean, there's like you said, there's so many distractions going on down in that program, and it's kind of sad because that used to be a great game.
28.5 point
And
favorite.
yeah, I mean, when's the last time we were that much of a favorite over
Over LSU.
LSU? Like I said, I think they're a dumpster fire. Man, if that game is close any time during the game, other than when the ball's kicked off to start the game, I'll be surprised.
Well, I think it's going to be a better game than what you guys are expecting. We'll see.
You said that last time, but
I'm just so you know, I was right.
I did go to the Bama-Tennessee game. Yeah, you were. And I took 2 things away. I told you one.
Yep.
The most popular athlete at the University of Alabama now is
Fouts.
Montana Fouts.
That
As she should be.
Yeah, that girl is 100% class. And there's some guy named Brandon there that's very popular. I don't know who he is, but everybody was really supporting him.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Glad to know it.
They kept going, let's go, Brandon. And I was looking for him. And I don't know who he is, but he seems very popular
Extremely popular.
by the student section.
So, quick prediction.
Oh, I don't know if Brandon shows up or not. Oh, you're talking about for the game. I'm going to say we kind of sleepwalk through part of this, 37-10.
37-10.
Man, Saban hadn't forgot about the comment Coach Ogeron made a couple of years ago.
Nobody
I mean,
could understand it. Well,
Yeah,
part of it.
I mean,
It had something to do with a fire
I'm thinking
truck.
it's going to be a 55-10 kind of game.
I believe we're going to get in the 50s, but I believe that they're going to come with a little bit of passion, intensity, pride. I think they're going to 17 points, 55-17.
Yeah, we could do that to almost any team in the West. It just depends on which Alabama team wants to show up.
Which is going to be, which is what we're all wanting to see. Can we reduce some of the breakdowns, busted coverages? Can we reduce some of the penalties? Can we make less mistakes? And can we put a complete game together? We haven't seen it
Coming
yet.
off
a bye week. She has some healthy people. So be interesting to see. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Be a night game. Be in Tuscaloosa. So Tide fans, we'll be right back here next week. Make sure you join us on YouTube or join us right here on Channel 207. And we'll see you after the LSU game. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.